What if I were to tell you that now even the cryptocurrency community is piling in to the silver market? That's exactly what's happening, and this will change everything. Check this out. Max Kaiser reignites the silver movement. The outspoken Bitcoin evangelist is turning heads with a renewed call to own physical silver. Now, this is a tweet from X saying, really debating on selling all of my XRP for silver. And then Wall Street Gold tweets, the flip is on. Crypto ignored $30 silver. Now as it nears 50, they're piling in. That is exactly what always happens. People need the validation, the confirmation that silver can go higher. They don't get in before the curve. They wait till it takes off and then they'll get in, which is the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get in before the curve. You're supposed to get in before it does what it just did. True silver stackers did that because we knew silver's true value. When it was $11 in March of 2020, I was screaming at people to buy it because I knew it would eventually do this. A lot of people would never touch silver with the 10-foot pole if it was $11, but they would buy Bitcoin at all-time highs. You see how people need that validation? They need to see it going higher. That's just because they don't understand silver's true value and they're investing with their hearts, not their heads. I invest with my head, not my heart, taking the emotional, rational decision making out. Regardless though, even now, silver's still cheap for 50, so at least they're trading a digit on a screen cryptocurrency for something that has intrinsic value, which is wealth itself. So first and foremost, this is massive news. We talked about even if like the gold market started going into the silver market, that would be a game changer because gold is such a bigger market than silver. But also with cryptocurrency now, this would change everything. There's so many people wanting to get their hands on this physical metal. We already know that there's a massive, massive silver shortage going on, which is affecting the price directly. I mean, everything is lining up for silver to do something that no one's ever seen any asset do ever and probably will never again. And people are starting to notice that. Crypto crashing. Friday, October 10th, saw a brutal crypto market collapse after former President Trump announced sweeping 100% tariffs on all Chinese imports. Bitcoin plunged double digits, altcoin cratered, and leveraged products triggered mass liquidations across major exchanges. Analysts called it a carnage day for digital assets as investors fled to risk assets amid fears of renewed trade wars and collapsing global liquidity conditions. Meanwhile, silver is soaring. This is why they say silver is a safe haven asset. Gold is a safe haven asset. They don't call Bitcoin a safe haven asset for a reason. Yes, it's decentralized. Yes, it's not pegged to the dollar. But when you're talking about something that has value within itself, intrinsic value, you really can't go wrong because no matter who says that coin is worth what is irrelevant because the coin's value is the 1 ounce of silver inside of it, not the price tag, not the spot price. First and foremost, though, welcome. Thank you for tuning into your daily silver news. My name is Silver Slayer. If you want the latest information on what's happening across the globe and how that affects the price of precious metals, more specifically silver, make sure you click subscribe. You definitely want to subscribe right now because there's so much going on. I post 2 videos a day, once at noon and once at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. I know this video is coming out a little later than 6 p.m., but I try to hit it, I try to stay, true to those times, Eastern Standard too, so 12 and 6. And also, there's going to be a lot of new eyes into the world of precious metals. So I'll probably make a video soon on how to safely invest without getting ripped off, without getting scammed, without getting taken advantage of, because that's going to be very, very, very apparent coming soon as premiums start to really rise as silver becomes more scarce. But also these companies and people are going to take advantage of all these new investors, and also, that's that's just picking, shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, there's going to be so many new people that don't know where to buy from. They don't know about sites, like Miles Franklin. They never heard of that. They're probably going to look on eBay or somewhere, or Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, and they're going to get their heads ripped off. But anyways, let's jump into this article. So, crypto crashing. So right now, I do kind of want to look at what let's see what silver's doing first. So silver's at $50.09. Gold is at $4,017. Silver's all-time high price was hit yesterday, $51, and it was $51 and I think 24 cents. Yeah, you can see right here this H high. The H stands for 51.24. The current is 49.61. So now let's look at crypto, Bitcoin price. So Bitcoin is at $111,000. It was up to 120 something last time I checked. Look at that big red candlestick. So everyone's going to start dumping their Bitcoin and getting silver. Like this tweet set up here, he's thinking about selling all of his XRP, which is Ripple, for silver. I mean, a lot of these guys are when it comes to crypto, those guys have millions and millions of dollars just because how much Bitcoin has, already rallied. Silver's going to do the same soon, so it makes sense that why wouldn't you take, the profits that you already made from that rally and multiply it even more with this rally coming up as well. It makes sense. But anyways, meanwhile, silver is soaring. Silver prices in London surpassed $50 per ounce for the first time since 1980, triggered by a massive short squeeze that has disrupted global precious metals trading. Traders are airlifting physical bars from locations like New York and Singapore to meet London's delivery demands amid high borrowing costs and low liquidity. This surge follows 7 years of supply deficits driven by industrial demand in solar panels, military batteries, AI, anatomy, electronics, plus investment amid economic uncertainty, marking a 70% year-to-date rally. So yeah, let's see what Bitcoin is at year-to-date. Where does it show that? It shows that somewhere. Oh, here we go. It's up 18% year to date. Silver's up 70% year to date. But yeah. Anyways, let's keep moving on because this is the important stuff right here. Introducing one of the most influential public figures, Max Keiser. Remember Buy Silver crashed JP Morgan, destroying the banks by buying silver is still a viable play. Max Keiser crash JP Morgan Buy Silver campaign began around 2010 as a viral social media and publicity effort urging the public to buy physical silver and thus challenge JP Morgan, who were widely believed to hold large and possibly manipulative short positions in the silver market. Kaiser's philosophy held that mass stacking of silver would pressure JP Morgan by driving the price higher, potentially exposing their short positions, with $50 per ounce being a symbolic and practical target seen as a tipping point for a short squeeze and a broader message about fiat money instability. It's kind of like the Hunt brothers, somewhat honestly. Like that's what the Hunt brothers were doing as well, trying to expose the hand and almost like a publicity stunt, letting people know what's really happening, to your money that's sitting in your bank account, and also trying to force the hand of JP Morgan to push prices higher. The movement popularized the phase Buy Silver, crashed JP Morgan, and even inspired the minting of silver rounds coins, commemorating the campaign, further spreading its rebellious message to stackers and investors. The campaign blended financial activism, anti-bank sentiment, and push towards hard money values, aiming to restore accountability and disrupt Wall Street manipulation. So here it is. Crash banks, buy silver, Max Keiser. In the back, it says Global Insurrection Against Corporate Occupation in 2011, and that's obviously when silver almost hit $50 again. So did Max Keiser switch religions? He kind of did. Yeah, that's what happens. A lot of people, and I honestly did that for a second too. If you're a long time fan of mine, at first I was strictly silver, and in 2016 I got into Bitcoin pretty heavy, Bitcoin and Litecoin. I made a lot of money with Bitcoin and Litecoin. I even made a second channel called Crypto Slayer, right? Because I started posting a lot of cryptocurrency stuff on this channel, and the hardcore silver stackers did not like that at all. They thought I was kind of like switching, which I was. I mean, I was still making silver content, but I was very focused on Bitcoin. I made a lot of education. I had the number one video on YouTube of how to buy Bitcoin for beginners, like safely on Coinbase, and how to store it in a cold wallet, like an offline wallet. Um, Regardless, though, I did what Max did as well, but then I got back to my roots, and now I really don't talk about Bitcoin. I really don't focus on Bitcoin. I came back and took the blindfolds off. So anyway, and it seems like Max is doing that right now too. Anyways, recognizing its disruptive, decentralized nature and potential to overthrow fiat banking supremacy, he became one of Bitcoin's earliest and most vocal proponents, repeatedly calling for dramatic price targets and predicting a mass exodus. That's funny, that's the website, or that's the cold wallet that I tell people to store their Bitcoin on. But from the traditional financial system, Kaiser's transition inspired many silver stackers to embrace Bitcoin as digital gold and a new tool for individual financial sovereignty. So yeah, Max Kaiser's back promoting silver. Max posted this on his Twitter for followers to vote in a social media poll. Apologies to nitpicking reader base, refused to call it X. The U.S. is slipping into extreme social dysfunction. If you're trapped somewhere in dystopia land and need to buy your way out of a difficult situation with hostiles, what works best? U.S. dollars, Bitcoin, silver, or gold? Are you serious? They think that Bitcoin would be the... How? No. In dystopia land, right there. That proves right there, like, silver would be the best. The correct answer is silver. Having a few 10th ounce, 4th ounce coins in your pocket might save your life in a silver war. Right, exactly. That's what junk silver's so perfect for, because it's fractional silver. What if you only have 1 ounce coins and you're trying to trade or barter with something that's less than an ounce? You're going to take your chainsaw to the coin? You're going to just shave off little pieces? No, that's where junk silver comes into play. It's a piece of American history. It's legal tender, right? It's not a private mint round or anything. It's a real coin. 10th ounce, dimes, quarters, half dollars. Mercury dimes are my favorite. I love Walking Liberty half dollars. Barber quarters are so cool. It's a piece of American history. It's real. It's perfect. I definitely think, and that's why most SHTF preppers, they own junk silver, Eagles and junk silver. That's usually what preppers stack, and rightfully so. Here's some more pro silver post by Max. What stopped crash JP Morgan buy silver at $50 was the LBMA monitoring tightness in the silver market. I doubt they'll be able to subvert market forces this time. LBMA says it's actively monitoring tightness in the silver market, and that was on October 10th. It was tweeted. He talks about David Bateman. That's the guy that bought $1 billion worth of 1,000-ounce COMEX bars. A billion, by the way, with a B. He bought $1 billion worth of silver on the COMEX, turned it all into physical delivery, and he got it all in a warehouse and took a picture of it, and it looks insane. And then he talked about like 9 reasons why silver is better than anything else. So David Bateman says the problem in today's financial system is too few have held real gold and silver bars in their hand and felt the sheer energy and power of God's money course through their body. It's so true. Like when I hold this, there's something about this, right? There's something about this. It's magical. This is, and this isn't just on Earth. Silver got here from meteors and comets. So we're talking about the entire universe. Silver is the most highly conductive metal in the entire universe. Silver purifies water. Water is the most pure thing in the universe. Silver purifies that. Think about that. Silver purifies the most pure thing. I mean, it's God's money. So having superstars like David Bateman and Max Kaiser helps. Everything helps. We're still early. When you see Taylor Swift honking silver, it may already be too late. Brings me to a very important point. Right, and that's a very good point. Most people are going to get in after it's too late. When it's too late. Most people are going to start stacking when it's too late. I promise you, you're going to see a lot of people jump on the silver bandwagon, and those people are not going to understand why silver has true value. They're in it for the wrong reasons. Like, this is a get rich quick scheme. They're going to probably buy the types of silver that they shouldn't, right? They're going to start buying really high premium, like semi-numismatic stuff that is going to be extremely hard to sell, not really understanding the core point of investing into silver for its metal, not the numismatic side of things, which is still fine to do that. But most people are going to be stacking wrong and will lose money. And then as a pullback happens, since they don't trust silver, since they don't understand what makes it valuable, there's going to be a slight pullback eventually. Then they're going to panic sell. So they're going to buy it really, really high, and they're going to sell it at a price that they will never get back because they don't hold it long enough for the price to go back up, to even do that. So yeah, I mean, that's why you got to be careful, and that's why I'm going to start making a lot of educational stuff again. Remember, just if you can't hold it, you don't own it, and just because you can buy something doesn't mean you can afford to buy it. That's another thing. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I really, really like this article. I think this is so true. Really debating on selling all of my XRP for silver. I think a lot of people are gonna start doing that, just trying to take advantage. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Stay tuned. Another video is coming tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard. I post twice a day, noon and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. If you want to help a father fight for his daughter, I'm in a custody battle. I'm trying to get shared parenting like I've had. I can't talk too much about it, but it's a very sad situation. I've really been trying to hang on mentally. So I made a GoFundMe. If you want to help me cover the legal costs, since it's really expensive, I'd really appreciate it. If not, it's fine. But if you're kind enough to do so, I'd really appreciate it, because this is going to be a very, very, very lengthy process. I just need to make sure that I'm able to continue to cover the legal fees as time goes on. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it. Every donation goes specifically to legal fees in a separate account. I'm not just, using it for bills or whatever. All of the donations are going specifically to the legal fees. Ethically, that's the right thing to do. Yeah, folks. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's still ongoing. But yeah, if you can help, I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, this was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys tomorrow at noon. Peace.